Oh my gosh.
Grand Renovations.
Yeah. See, it's been so long I forgot what it was called. We are back with another episode in our series, Grand Renovations.
There you go.
Where we make over a room for under $1,000. And today we're back at my mom's. We're going to be making over her laundry room. So my mom has never had a finished laundry room. This house is how old?
50 years old.
50?
And it's been a dungeon of a laundry room.
Dungeon, it takes your soul when you walk in there. It was so dark.
That's like extra, but yeah.
It's been a hot minute because my mom has lived here for over 20 years. And I think she deserves a finished laundry room. So a few weeks ago, this is actually what the laundry room looked like. So when I'm talking, it was a dark dungeon hole. We're being serious, okay? But
it was bad.
She had someone come in and frame it and sheetrock it.
Yes.
I mean, he did a lot.
He removed a lot of stuff that was
did.
unnecessary because they had an addition to this house way back in the day, and they left all of the old piping and water lines that didn't need to be there.
No.
So he did remove quite a bit of stuff and left us just a nice plain room.
Clean slate.
Oh, it was so nice.
There was no demo involved, and I personally love that. I was very grateful. So here are some before shots of what the room looked like when we got our hands on it. It already looked so much better than before, but I couldn't wait to get in there and really make this a dream laundry room for my mom.
We decided to use the traditional farmhouse style shiplap where we rip the plywood sheets. It ended up being $50 a sheet, and so the first day we went, we were 2 boards short, so I went back the next day and they were $52 a sheet. Like, it is increasing by the day. So we used the 1/4-inch plywood and ripped them into 8-inch strips on my table saw, and that's what we use as, like, you guys have seen us use that in many different videos, but that is the shiplap we decided to use. You're doing shiplap and you have a switch or an outlet. So always unscrew your switches or outlets. The space that it creates from here to here makes it so you'll be able to put a flush cover on the shiplap piece.
I'm painting the entire room in the color Whisper White by Behr, and I wanted to surprise Thomas and have everything painted, completely done, so he didn't have to touch it, because I know how bad he hates painting. But that way it would be 100% done, so when he came back in the morning, he could start on the Backsplash, and he will explain a little bit more about the Backsplash, but I chose a peel and stick that was a lot more user and budget friendly. It involves no tools other than a razor blade to cut any edges off that you don't need, but I'm excited for you to see that next step and how that turned out.
So I was very hesitant to do the backsplash by just sticking it to the sheetrock because there was still sheetrock, the dust on there, and when I tried to stick it without adhesive, it just kind of slid off. So I decided to use some adhesive to help stick it to it, and I was very surprised at the seams and transitions. You could not see them at all, and that's what I was more worried about. Was I would have rather done tile originally, because I was like, all right, I don't want to see seams all over this and make it look cheap, but for the cost of these and how friendly it is for a DIYer, this is the best stuff I've ever used for a backsplash.
So we had one of our boxes that shipped to us that was a little bit dented. So as we were applying this peel and stick backsplash, some of the edges were just sticking up a little bit, and we found that taping them down really helped. We let the tape sit overnight, and when we peeled it off, you could not tell that there was any issues to begin with. As far as the flooring goes, I picked this out at Home Depot, and I wanted a really natural looking wood floor. Obviously this is waterproof, but I will have all of the details of this flooring listed in the description box below.
It looks like I'm gonna need another box just for that little spot right there, which is literally ridiculous because I've used every last piece that I could possibly use, and that's gonna suck. I'm gonna cut this plywood down for the top of the washer and dryer, and it's gonna come over like a waterfall and drop off. It's 4x8 and it's 3/4 inch, so it's actually really expensive because it's finished plywood, so it's like 88 bucks for just one sheet right now because wood is ridiculous. But I'm gonna cut it on my table saw because the skill saw that I have, I can get it pretty straight, but because I'm gonna have to reach out 26 inches, that's how wide I want it. I don't wanna reach out here and run a skill saw down, so I'm gonna cut it on the table saw.
The stain color we used for all of the wood in this room is a base coat of classic gray, and then went over it with the color Provincial. They're both by Minwax. And these two colors combined give the wood such a natural, beautiful color. I had Thomas build this little box / shelf to place against the back of the washer and dryer, just to hide all of the plugs and all of the other things that are exposed right here. So this is actually not installed. That way my mom can move it anytime she needs to reach back there and use one of the plugs or whatever she might need to do. But I love that this will also function as a shelf.
So I've got my legs put together, and I just used a 1x12 and glued them together and shot them from each side. And then I'm going to do a trim piece in the front so it looks like one solid piece, like I did on the front of this top piece right here. This will be stained, but Ashley's going to paint the bottom legs white, so it'll be two different colors because this will be the bench that sits down that the baskets go underneath. Like in the center?
No, they go on the...
That wouldn't make any sense because there's 4 and they only have 3 of these. So see?
we only have 3?
I already put them up.
Okay, then I'll go get a 4th Corporal. How about that?
Okay. Deal.
That'll be good.
Okay. All right.
Right in the center. Love ya.
Okay, bye. I'm an idiot and I should have painted these first before I shot them in, but I'm gonna have Ashley come and paint them because I've gotta go. But I'm gonna tape them for her and she'll be back to finish painting these, the cordials, I Googled it, and the top shelf.
You Googled it. You said it's cordials. I Googled it. It's corbels. There's a B. It's C-O-R-B.
I actually didn't Google it.
Okay, I was gonna say,
you
look.
just said it on the phone and I thought you said
Corbels. Yeah.
You
corbels.
Googled it.
I wanted to make sure that I was
Googled
right.
it. I was just kidding. It was a joke that you said it on our FaceTime, and I was like, "Oh, that's what it is." I don't know. It's a corner piece, a decorative corner piece that holds
Piece
a shelf.
of wood.
It should be a shelf supporter, is what it should be.
So my idea for the door, we could have just left the original door here, but I wanted to put a barn door here because my mom loves barn doors, and nowhere in her house does she really have a space for one because of the way, I don't know, like she couldn't do it in her closet because the angle, it's just weird. So this was like the only place I felt like she could have an actual barn door. And we found a barn door, well, it was an actual door, off of a barn on Fruitland Drive, which is like, it doesn't mean anything to you, but here in our hometown, that's like where all the farms are. My mom grew up here, was born and raised here, and so that meant a lot to her to have a door from a barn off of Fruitland Drive. So I just thought that was cool because of the history behind it.
A barn door was from a barn?
Who would have thought? So here we are on the final day getting all of those last minute things done. I wanted Thomas to install some shelving on the back wall, so that way my mom had somewhere to set all of her laundry items that she didn't necessarily want exposed. Like right when you walk in, you can see it just sitting there on the washer and dryer, and that way it would be tucked in the back corner. And then I also wanted to get some of the bigger decoration pieces hung so that I could come back and finish styling the room. I swear since I was a child, my mom has had this yellow container for her laundry soap, and there's really no sentimental meaning behind it. So I wanted to replace it with something that could sit on top of her washer and dryer and just match a little bit better. And guys, I found this at Walmart. I also found this matching laundry caddy, so I picked this up as well. off this space, I had this laundry room vinyl made from our friends over at Amos Graphics. I will have their info in the description below, but I feel like this was the perfect finishing touch to this laundry room makeover.
Look up.
Yes, right here. So I have to first tell you about this door because this is from a barn off Fruitland Drive, like an original farm. Isn't that so cool? So I'm like, this barn door I thought was perfect for in here. I can walk in.
So, am I ready?
You're ready?
Let me do this.
Well, it looks.
Oh my heavens!
Yay!
Oh!
Oh yeah. Okay, I was gonna ask you some questions about
this. This is where the file cabinet.
those. I know. Look how different, Mom. It was a dark hole.
It was a dungeon.
It was a dungeon.
That's what we called it.
Okay, how old is this house?
It was built in the 70s.
And it never was done.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy. So
It
it's
was
never
all
been done. Just exposed piping.
Look at that.
So
How did you ever? Oh. This.
so funny. I thought this would be a good place for you to put all of your
Oh.
so any pictures or whatever. And I saw that memory lane. I thought that was perfect to hang up above it.
I can't. Oh, tile.
I know. Yeah, it's sticky tile. It's
tile.
well, yeah, it's. I wanted to style some of my mom's sentimental items in this room, and this old phone and radio were from her dad's gas station. She actually has a picture of him using this phone, so I thought that was really cool. I also placed his coat hook and cane in the corner and hung up the signs that were also from his gas station, but I left that wall a little bare underneath for her to hang any other photos or art from her past, but I thought that memory lane sign would be perfect to hang right above them. For the cost breakdown of this renovation, the flooring was the most expensive thing. It was $2.99 a square foot, but this room is a little bit less than 100 square feet. So it was roughly $300 for the flooring. The shiplap was $150, which you guys, typically this would have cost less than $50 if the prices were what they were a year ago. The paint was $60. The wood shelves, so all of the wood together, was $150. And then the wood for the washer and dryer was $88, and the tile backsplash was a little less than $150. So that gives us a grand total of $898. Well, that's everything for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next episode. And hopefully it's a lot sooner than this one, because this did take a little longer than we hoped.
Cut. I should have always said action. And action.
As I sucked? What does that mean? Oh, because I took so many tries?
Oh, you said the same sentence at least 13 times.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Maybe 14 or 15 times.